lady.
Hello, madame. It's Brandon. I love Hallmark fall movies.
Hello, my ladies. I'm Brian. I like Hallmark fall movies.
What's up, my ladies? I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark fall movies, and this is the Take the Hallmark Podcast.
Wow.
What did you say?
That was a diss list.
It's a dissolution.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Brian's just mad he didn't get to do the diss list
That's
song.
right. Yeah,
On his
that's the
episode.
problem.
Yeah, I mean, I found the band and everything. Yeah, just
You mean Larry? Larry the
You did
game?
not find Larry.
No.
You did not find him.
He only
just
works for
showed
us on the
up.
diss list.
I introduced you to him.
All right. That was a long time ago, though. We're closer than you guys are.
Yeah, but you would. Yeah, just because you've gotten closer to him, though, doesn't mean that you've introduced
It's a
me
good
to
song.
him.
If you haven't heard it, you got to check it out.
And I just want to remind you, there's a reason why I'm not as close to Larry. And you know that reason, and you still chosen to get close to him. And that's,
The fact that we still have him on the show.
He hasn't
kind
done
of
that to me.
Yeah.
So
I know he hasn't done it to you, but he
Yet,
will. He does
right?
it to
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
his friends
We
at
haven't
some
gotten there
point.
yet.
He's
I
a great
think-
musician.
I feel like I'm ready for. Yeah, I mean, he's a musician. What do you expect?
He's a great. Yeah,
He's a-
I know.
yeah.
What do you
I know.
expect?
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Hallmark Plus launch day, everybody.
Congrats,
Everyone
everybody.
that,
Content
everyone
from
that
Hallmark.
celebrates. Yeah.
Chicken Sisters.
Welcome.
Chicken Sisters.
Dune Bay.
Dune Bay.
Jane Mystery.
Jane
Yeah.
Mystery.
Need
very,
more.
It's
Let's
very
do it.
exciting. There's just so much. It's too much to handle. People looked at the Hallmark Plus release and they said, the guys at Hallmark, they can't possibly do all that stuff
There's
that's
no
coming
way.
out on a premiere day. It doesn't work out timing wise.
Oh, guess what?
Check out our calendar.
Sure
Check
does.
it out. It's happening. It's happening. We're coming in on a Tuesday to record. Well, I mean, we are always
What do you mean
on
we're
a
coming?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday
I
now,
know,
right?
but we're staying after
Stay
this.
late.
That's right.
Stay late.
Yes.
Extra
It's-
credit.
I know it's 3 a.m.
Overtime.
Must
I
be
know it's
lonely.
3 a.m., but we're staying after this, and we're going to binge it all. When's the unscripted stuff?
Yeah, we're not doing
That's a
that.
good question. I don't know.
When's that Lacey show come on? Does anybody know?
know.
Aaron, do
She
you
has
know?
this cool.
Aaron, do you know anything about
this
that?
cool fall
No.
movie she did, which is
She does. We're talking about,
Allegedly
you're talking about His and
fall.
Hers?
His and Hers, that's
His and
right,
Hers
yeah.
is the movie that we're talking about today. Very excited
Rated
to
super highly by all
break
of
it down.
us.
Really?
In our preview. The highest rating in preview.
Of all
movie.
time?
No, of this month, because we do it by month.
Right.
For now. Yeah, it ended up with the highest score.
Stamp out that goes.
Yeah,
we stamp out.
stamped
We didn't
it.
stamp out any goes for this one.
I think we seanced it.
We seanced it.
I believe. What do we got here?
I gave
Oh, we
it
did
3
stamp
and a
out.
cream,
Which is your
definitely-
highest of the.
And Brand gave it 5.
Yeah, I did.
I poured it up
I
as well.
stamped out that ghost for
You
sure.
stamped out the
You
ghost.
gave
So
it
you
a
gave it 5.
Whoa.
And then you stamped out the ghost, which is like a little bit of a.
I was on something, I feel like. Wow.
That's your high. You gave it the highest of any of them.
Boy.
Why would you not have?
I don't understand what you're.
Yeah, we were under what we knew, based on what we knew
Under
then.
what we knew?
Yeah, based on-
Under what we knew?
Under that surplus of
Yeah,
info
that's
that we
what we
knew?
knew.
all
Yeah.
those coats,
Yeah.
those bomber jackets we were under.
Sheesh.
We're going to talk about it, but of course, the day is upon us. Later today, Dan was it your understanding later today? Home was putting out the schedule, or was that Brian?
Brian, I
That
said
was me.
Thursday.
So
That was
Brian,
me
you said
today.
later today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe even by the time people are listening to this, you think
really
the
confident.
schedule is going to be out.
Yeah, yeah, I sure do, Bran.
You said
Standing by that.
You said Hallmark Plus
Yeah.
is gonna
Same day.
drop, and on the same day
Yeah.
when they're celebrating the big release of that platform that they've been promoting
Yeah.
for a while, they're going to overshadow that with the schedule
Yeah,
of the Christmas.
Yes.
Plus.
like ramp up the presses again. We're not done.
Hey, guys,
Start them
gotta
up.
start
Start
those
them up.
presses back
Start the
up.
presses.
Start those presses.
You know that old saying, "Start
Yeah.
the presses."
Yeah, I think that was my guess.
I
Me
gotta
and
be
Alonso.
honest. If they were gonna do that, you'd think that they would kind of almost pre-announce it. Like, I don't think it's a terrible idea to launch your streaming service and the schedule on the same day, but you would think that they would give you a little.
Imagine if they
little
did like a
something. Little
giddy-up,
live
step in your
stream, a
giddy-up.
live stream announcement on
Yeah.
Hallmark Plus.
That would be
Yes.
cool. That's how you do it.
And they take all the wind out of our sails. They do 1 weekend at a time.
Yeah.
They talk about them. They do a full preview. That's what they
Everything
should
we
do.
were gonna do. Yeah, yeah.
Instead
Should we get them to hire us to
Guys,
do it?
let's do this. We can do like
Hallmark.
I'm going to talk
But
about
if I'm
them anyway.
wrong, we could still do all that stuff.
That's
If
true.
they
I
don't-
mean,
Yeah,
we
if
are
they're
still
gonna
going to
do
do
it,
it.
yeah.
We are still going to do it. That I can't believe how close we are to the marathon. Like we're just like a month away.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're
Yeah.
very excited about that. So much to look forward to this time of year. September's a special month. It's a special month. I think is the best way.
Yeah, it's a big
There's a bit
deal
of a
around here.
crisp in the air right now here in Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah, that Greenville, South Carolina, which was just voted one of
Country Living's
Country
best
Living's
Christmas
13th
towns in America.
13th.
Yes.
13th.
Lucky 13.
I thought we were top 10.
Not
So
even
we didn't
close.
even break the top 10.
Well, we're close.
Who's ahead of us?
Yeah.
New York City.
Okay. Fair.
So what? They
Cape-
have a few big balls.
Cape Cod was ahead of us.
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod?
On Christmas.
There-
A beach. Get
yeah,
out of here.
There was
Boo.
a town in Texas
No,
ahead of us.
no.
Oh yeah. Oh
This
yeah.
is hogwash.
Some Vermont town. You know,
All right.
some good ones, but a couple I feel like we
I
could
don't-
have inched out.
I don't like that. I don't
We
like
could
that.
have inched out.
Yeah, we could
I mean,
have
edged out.
inched them, edge, tomato.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next year.
Aaron,
Could
do
have
you want
millimetered
to?
out.
Aaron, do you have an
metrics
update on
around
Lacey's show? Aaron has an update on Lacey's show.
Yes. So Lacey's show, the first episode airs today, September 10th.
Of course.
course it does.
That's why we're here.
Episode 2 comes out on Thursday.
Wow.
And then for the following weeks, a new episode will be released on Thursdays.
And they're doing
Every
like all of their releases on Thursdays, which is an interesting.
So that's an interesting tactic. If you can show up on Thursday and get a new movie, a new TV show, and a new reality unscripted show every Thursday.
I mean, we're getting a new Jane, a new Dune Bay, a new Lacey show every Thursday, a new Chicken Sister every Thursday.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Thursday's the new Friday.
Why not split it up one day a week?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Thursday's
the
the new
data,
Friday.
the data.
Why not do a schedule release show? I don't know.
Yeah.
All the
These
good
are all
ideas
questions.
great
We have
questions.
ideas.
Yeah.
I'm sure they put a lot of thought and
Yeah.
what's
I
it
mean,
called?
they're a
Focus groups?
billion-dollar company. I think they probably have done a
they
little bit of
focus
research.
grouped. I'm sure they're focus group. Up TV's Christmas schedule came out, which
Yeah,
is
it
we didn't do the big release show on that.
Oh, we
I
missed
don't
that
know
one,
why.
huh?
12 new movies for them plus a Gaither special. We will be doing the Gaither specials.
You
my
think so?
understanding. We're gonna be talking about it. What was the highlight of the Gaither special for you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, the
He's
chicken.
So excited.
Chicken got you.
Chicken come
Yeah.
back.
We got chicken to celebrate the launch of the Chicken Sisters. That's what we did at 3 a.m. It's the 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Chicken drop.
You guys ready to talk
Chicken
about?
coop.
You guys ready to talk about the first fall movie of the year?
Yeah,
his,
man.
His
I
and
was,
hers.
yeah.
Brisk this movie was.
His and Hers. Originally premiered on the Hallmark Channel on September 7th, 2024. And it went a little something like this. Mark and Dana are lawyers, but they're also married. They're celebrating
What?
7 fabulous
Wow.
years.
Good work, everybody.
Really, really
work.
great.
Really good
Really
stuff.
It's
good.
amazing. And they couldn't be happier. They find out that they're each representing one half of a reality star pairing that wants a divorce. Dana is representing Tabby, like the cat.
I'm Tabby.
I'm Tabby. Mark is representing Brett, like the Debbie. But they're not allowed to talk about their current clients because of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, for those of you out there that didn't know. But after their clients are served, it all comes out that they are both representing the opposite side. They agree to stay on the case, mainly because they can't get out of it, and work together to make this as smooth as possible, and hopefully stay out of court. We don't want to get. We don't want to go to court. But the problem is both clients really want everything. They don't want to split it 50-50. They want it all. I want it all. Dana desperately wants to avoid court because she doesn't like speaking, which is a tough job, I think, for a lawyer to not want to talk. But anyway, she doesn't like the public speaking, and so they're trying their best to not let work get in between them. But after their background checks that the other couple got on both of them, it gets mixed up, and so he reads her background check, finds out that she was married at one point to a Will Kemp.
William Kemp.
And
what?
she reads his background check and finds out that at one point he was in jail. They get into a bit of an argument, but they make up quickly because that's just how good of a couple they are.
Yeah, they love each other with all their heart.
That's exact. Oh, that's good.
Whoa.
That's really good. So they're working together. They're trying to figure out how can we keep this out of the courts. But it turns out it's really tough to be on opposing sides of a court case. And even when you love each other, sometimes things get messy. They're working hard, but what can you do? they do have to go.
You said that like you'd had experience with it. Have you and Caitlin, lawyers, do different sides of the case?
Yes, you know me, lawyer Brand.
Esquire.
Esquire. That's a pretty good
you're on
title.
trial.
That's a
good
pretty
title.
good
Lawyer
title.
Brand Esquire?
five
Esquire
title.
is a pretty good title, right?
It's a top
I
title.
like top 10 titles.
I know you do.
I like it. So they end up having to go to court. And when they get there, Dana has a realization while looking at a piece of paper that maybe there's some information that is being hidden by the boy over there, the groom.
By the boy.
Not her boy, but the boy that her boy is representing.
That's right.
So she says, "Can I get a quick recess?" And she goes and she swings and she goes on the slide, plays a little dodgeball, and then right back in for class.
Okay,
Then she
here we
goes.
go.
Then she goes
Recess.
because it's recess.
I
You're
got
crushing
it.
it, man.
It's recess.
That was good.
So-
Objection.
It's a fun recess.
It is. You can do all that in recess. So then after recess, she goes and she pays the quote-unquote mistress a visit, who she's been claiming this whole time she doesn't have any money, but suddenly she's opening up this new Pilates slash method acting
Yeah.
class place. And she's like, hey, is Brett like funding this new project as a way to make it seem like he has less money, so he has to split less? And she's like, I don't know. And she's basically like, either you come and you tell the truth in court, or bad stuff's going to happen. You've been withholding information. And so she ends up going to court, and she tells everybody that Brett and her were never a thing. In fact, every time Brett would talk to her about Tabby, he'd just talk about how amazing Tabby is in this whole time. And so Tabby and Brett are like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They end up making up in the court.
Wow.
And so no divorce, no problem.
All in, all done. Roll the credits. Merry Christmas.
That night, Mark and Dana are hanging out, eating popcorn
Down the
and watching
street.
TV, and they see a commercial for a new show that Brett and Tabby are going to be hosting. And they are like, man, that was a really quick turnaround, unless this was all fake to
It
begin
all
with.
clicks in.
So they go and they talk to their head honchos at their respective
Their
law
esquires.
firms, their esquires of their esquires, and they're like, yeah, we actually knew about it, and it was good. What's good for the geese is good for the gizzard,
And gander.
and,
so
and the
close.
gander, and so we just kind of let it happen because we would get free promotion as well, which
Some
is
chicken gizzards.
which is wonderful. We get the promotion,
Sisters.
they get the promotion, everybody wins. And so Mark and Dana begin to be like, that's messed up, don't like that. And so even though she's about to be handed the keys to the company and he's about to be made partner, they say, what's the point if it's dirty? What's the point if you're not doing things
The right way.
right way? And so they both decide to quit, and they join together to start their own law firm so they never have to compete against each
Esquire.
other ever again. And that, my friends, was
His
and Hers.
We did it.
Boom!
Yeah.
Boom, everybody.
One more?
Boom! We're going to take a
the
quick
best
break.
one.
We're going to come back. We're going to talk His and Hers here on
Deck
the
the
Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. Happy fall. Hopefully you're doing well today on this Tuesday. We're talking His and Hers, the first fall movie.
Oh, yeah.
Falling into Love.
That's right. Sure.
Over on the Hallmark Channel. Did we fall into love with this movie? We're talking His and Hers, and we're going to share our hot takes.
Was
as
this
well.
actually advertised as a fall movie?
I mean, it's under the umbrella.
I
don't know
didn't
what to tell
think
you.
about it as a fall movie
I don't
once,
know.
and then you said it, and I was like,
you
oh
know
my
what? I'll
goodness.
double check to make sure that
Okay.
this is under the Fall into Love umbrella.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give faulty information here. Faulty information. Of course. But we're going to share our hot takes. We're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie. Don't heat it up too much because the temperature is just right.
Sure.
But please share what you thought about His
brisk
and
take.
Hers. A brisk take. Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd be surprised if it were under the fall umbrella. I thought it was. So a big part of my disappointment here was like there's no fall to be found here. Not fall at all. It didn't feel fall at all.
It doesn't even try.
No,
I think
not
you
even
just get over
color
that real
correction
quick,
on the
right?
tree.
No, it's nothing.
They're
You
not even
just-
trying.
yeah.
So I was really hoping for more fall, no fall. So I'm just gonna pretend it's not a fall movie. So take that off the table. I feel kind of like a bad person.
I mean, it's the first one listed in
Yeah,
Fall into
okay.
Love.
Wow.
2024 movies.
It's not fall at all,
Yeah.
though. So huge mark against it because I wanted some fall. I feel a little bad because I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I thought
5
that
PSLs. I mean, come on.
yeah, way high on it. Way high. Everybody was great. Like the quality of it, very, very high, very well done. Lead's phenomenal, obviously. I just thought going into this, it was going to be like, we're in the courtroom, we're battling, we're objecting, we're submitting motions, we're sidebarring, we're going head to head, toe to toe.
Battling,
Yeah.
submitting motions,
Yes.
sidebarring,
Yes.
all the good stuff.
Objection. You're out of order.
Sustained.
You're out of order. Yeah.
Can't
And we
handle
got
the truth.
None of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You get it.
I thought they were going to be going to town on each other in the
If it
courtroom.
had been a courtroom drama played with hijinks with these two as,
yes,
as the lawyers,
that's what I thought we were getting.
you wouldn't care about the fall.
No. We'd be in the courtroom the whole time.
Bingo. Now we're talking.
They'd walk in with coffee and
Yeah.
assume it's a
Let's go.
pumpkin latte. Like, they could have done so much in the courtroom, and she didn't even want to be in the courtroom.
She didn't want to
She's
be there.
afraid to be there.
That was when I knew we were in trouble. Right. That was when I knew we were in trouble.
And I didn't even realize they were being scammed by the divorced couple. When I realized, like, in the
No.
back of my mind, I'm like, maybe they're goofing around. They just wanted the attention.
They're goofing.
I was all in. Like, they tricked me. I was believing that they
No,
were
I
having
didn't
a
know
problem.
that either. I didn't.
And so, like,
Yeah.
when you find it out, I'm like, this is not fun. Like, this isn't as fun as if they were actually getting divorced and the two lawyers were going to town in the courtroom. Brandon Elliott looks phenomenal in a suit. Like, he just looks so good in a suit.
I told Bran that unlike any other Hallmark lead, I think it's very important to Brendan Elliott that his suits fit.
yeah.
His suits
Yes.
always fit
They
like
look
they're
so-
tailored.
Yes, they look so good.
And everybody else is like, well, I'll take a
Man.
42 reg. You know, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
He's
no.
got the right tie
Yeah.
width, like everything. He looks
crushing it.
great.
Yeah.
That stood out. Other than that, I was just like, good, no cream. Like, I was feeling super nervous not creaming this, and I'm glad I didn't. I just kind of bummed out about it.
But you did go 5
I went
PSLs.
5 PSL,
Yeah.
way too high. So I just thought it'd be a little bit different than it was.
This is a bold movie. Big swing by the Hallmark. Yeah, obviously not putting Lacey and Brennan isn't the big swing here. We know that that's going to work, and it does in this movie. Every time they are together, it is dynamite. It is electric. They're wonderful together. We have though a movie about divorce, like these attorneys are dealing with this divorce. We have a movie that when you think it's over, it's not.
Yes.
Yeah,
which
when
is
you're
really
like-
something.
left in it,
I
yeah.
thought for sure once it was they were at home, they were eating the popcorn,
Yeah.
they would see them on the commercial and they'd be like, they're getting back to it, huh? How about that? And no, we got a whole nother 20 minutes left of this movie, and I didn't see that coming. And I don't know if that necessarily is a good thing or not. I didn't think it was necessary. I do appreciate that in a where you could have just played it safe and easy. It's not often that we watch a Hallmark movie and go, "Oh wow, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this revelation coming." And so I liked the swing. I liked the attempt. It was not quite put together perfectly. Some of it kind of felt a little bit, this is weird, I don't know about it. But overall, it worked for me overall. And maybe it's just the Lacey and Brennan of it all that anytime they're together, it's working. But I really appreciated this married couple. Both of them are attorneys. And I thought that was a really cool, interesting story. And I found it to be interesting. What happened after the court, I don't know if I necessarily needed that, but I appreciated the attempt, and I liked the story overall. Is that Cece Leaves?
That right here?
Right there?
Ooh, that right there?
There she
Cece
is.
Leaves.
What's she
Yeah.
doing here?
Cece Leaves, how are you? Hi, what's going on?
She's got a little tickle in her
Happy
throat,
fall.
huh?
How'd you? I didn't know you were coming out today. I love you so much, Cece
boy.
Leaves.
Oh, no.
I'll watch my hands. You watch your mouth. Cece Leaves. I gotta ask you, Cece Leaves. Where have you?
Eye contact.
Whoa, strong
Where have
eye
you?
contact.
Where have you been all year?
Look away.
You've been all my life.
I'm taken. But where have you been all after?
That's not what the
once-
documents say.
What? Taken with me.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, Brian, you're so forward. Oh,
Stop.
You're taken with
Oh, wow.
I didn't even do my
So
hair.
full.
Cece leaves. One more
Stop
question.
staring daggers into my eyes.
Okay, you go back to your corner. I'll stay in mine. Okay, love you, Cece Leaves. Great to
separate
see you.
these two, absolutely.
All right. Sorry about that, Dan.
No problem. Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. Cece gets out of hand real quick. So I want you to imagine a movie like this one.
Still got the tag on her too.
Still-
$15.
It's crazy. Yeah, right there, 15 bones.
We maybe
paid
paid
that?
too
We've had
much.
CC leaves for years.
Yeah.
Instead of us starting with Brennan and Lacey, we start with Tabby and Brett.
Yeah.
That's who we start with. And we see them in the first scene. Imagine this movie. We see them in the first scene planning this whole thing.
Ooh. Okay, now we're talking.
So we see them planning the whole, we're going to do this
World of
thing.
difference.
We're going to get the lawyers. We're going to blah, blah, blah. And then Brennan and Lacey are the unsuspecting marks of this con. And we know that it's silly and ridiculous. And that allows Brennan and Lacey to really go for the laughs. Because the thing about this movie that does work is Brennan and Lacey, when they get a chance to go for the laughs, are funny. They have good chemistry. There's a scene when they switch and it'll be my feels, when they switch the background checks. Great scene. Great scene. Brennan and Lacey, great together. Us thinking that this is a real divorce and then going back and doing the bit where it's not and trying to trick the tricksters didn't work. Big swing. You're not wrong, Bran. The two leads, plenty of chemistry. But this movie, since they're taking a big swing anyway, they may as well take the biggest swing, which is have the movie set up the prank and then have Brennan and Lacey kind of get so invested in court with it. That's where I was with you. Like if these two are going back and forth in courts and then having to go home to the same house, that's quality.
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
get that. We get a very, just like Hallmark does sometimes. They're like, we're taking a big risk, so let's put our most like trusted leads and let's shore up our bets as much as we can. And that was unfortunate because it doesn't work nearly as well as it should. Having said that, there are worse Hallmark movies. I don't like, 3 was too high for me. I shouldn't have ever given this 3, but I don't know. Maybe the cream works there.
Would you say that this is still one of the best movies of the year? Like, because to me, like just doing the ranking last year, and I'm thinking back to the movies that we had in that real movie territory. I feel like this is up there, kind of in that back end of the real
Does the
movie
ranking
territory.
come out this week or did it came out last week?
It came out last week.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we had 8 in every category, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely have it in the top 2 categories.
Yeah.
You're going.
I agree with that.
You would. Okay.
Yeah, because quality movie.
Yeah,
Like, just
okay.
Quality. Some good laughs.
I don't know if it'd make top 8, Brian, but I think it would make top 15.
Let me pull up that top 8 real quick, and I'll.
Yeah, what's the
I don't
last
remember
one
what
there?
the last one is. Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick while you're talking.
Yeah.
Do you have nothing else to add though?
No, that was it.
Oh,
I
interesting.
thought
Okay,
you
because
had it.
I said why you still. I'll pull it up while you're. Still
I didn't know.
talking.
I stopped as soon as you
You stopped listening?
Yeah, I stopped listening as soon as you
Checked
said you were
right
pulling it
out.
up.
Well, that seems unnecessary.
I do it from time to time. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better as a human being, but I'm not
It's
perfect.
not quite working.
It isn't. No, we're getting
Ways
there.
to go.
Am I right or am I right?
It is.
we go.
June Bugs
Yeah,
on
June
the
Bug.
back end. American and Austin, Curious Kidder, Foiled Plans.
I think all those movies are better than his and hers.
Okay. What about Crimes of Fashion? That's the first one in Big Fun Maybe 6.
What's the next one in Big Fun? Maybe 6.
The Tip Line Mystery.
That was fun.
I think that his and hers is definitely worse than Tip Line Mysteries, but probably next.
Better than Costa Rica?
Better than Costa Rica, for sure.
So it's in that
Yes.
second category.
Yeah, I think 10 or 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I
I
like
like it.
that.
I like it.
Now we
Yeah.
don't have to do a ranking on this one, right?
There's
Done.
there's a world though where this movie is one of the best of the year, and I just think they fumbled it a bit. They fumbled it a bit. I
Do
agree.
you like my idea?
No, I like that a lot. I think yes. 2 things could have made this movie a lot better. One is just a really great courtroom scene, and we just don't get it. But I love the idea, to your point, Dan, of Lacey and Brennan kind of getting wrapped up in the case and coming in court and blah blah blah.
And us knowing it's a farce.
Yeah, us being in
Yeah.
on it
would
goes a long
be
way.
fantastic.
And that was going to be my second thing. I agree. I don't think that the big reveal that it was all fake worked because we as the viewers, I feel like we would have known it.
Yes.
Like I saw the guy go up to this girl in the
Yeah,
coffee
the
shop
acting's too good.
and
Yeah,
touch her
touch her
arm like
yeah.
this and go, oh my gosh, so smooth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's
Yes.
that's just
You're doing a
misleading.
thing, yeah.
That's misleading the viewer, and that wasn't
Also, Hallmark is in a little bit of a pickle here because they are clearly expanding and testing the boundary of what it is to be a Hallmark movie, and they are better for it. But they also have this unwritten, agreed upon contract with the audience that their leads are trustworthy, their leads are in the know, their leads have to have some sort of generic form or fashion to them. And those two things, they're doing it. They're expanding slowly, but I just think that sometimes the swings are like, for instance, Three Wise Men and a Baby, really funny set pieces. The love interest were so unnecessary in that movie, but it was like, well, we've got this movie, we've got to throw the love interest in, and that part didn't work because Hallmark was still trying to appeal to the Hallmark base. I think sometimes you just got to have a few of these where you're like, we're not even trying to appeal to the Hallmark base. We're trying to do something new. And that would have helped this movie.
So Beth Ann is saying the fact that they wanted their picture taken before going into the coffee shop so badly shows you that something was up. And I don't think so. I think they're
both social media influencers.
D-list celebrities that are desperate for validation that they are something. I didn't think that was necessarily.
I didn't catch any. I didn't like the acting was too good by both of them to have had because, and we can get into this in the wait what's, I guess, but the judge isn't in on it, right? Like the two two law firms are in on it.
Yes,
but not initially.
Yes,
they figured it out.
But the judge in the courtroom, there's a chance if she doesn't ask for a recess, like what goes down there? That's a real divorce proceeding.
Right. For sure.
Like at some point, they've got to figure out a way.
Yeah, if Lacey, it probably should be what the Hallmark, but if Lacey didn't pick up that paper and go, I need a recess, I need to go talk to her.
We're in trouble.
She's not showing up, and how are they then getting back together?
Yeah.
For the sake of that reality show. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's time for All the Feels. We're talking about what this movie gave us feels, Brian.
Yeah, Brett Noble not knowing words was a funny bit. Like that, there were some real subtle funnies, and that was one of them.
Real subtle funnies.
They did it a couple, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I really like that. My real one is just TJ and Gwen. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me right now? The two of them, they should have gotten together. That should have been going on the whole movie. They're great together. They were a lot of fun. I cared more about them as a couple, I think, than the other couples in the movie. They were so fun. So yeah, that was my feels.
I really liked their couch. When they were sitting on the couch, I was getting cozy couch feels, and that really worked for me. Listen, there's something about coming home after a long day to your house and just sitting down on a nice couch. It's a wonderful moment, and it's not every day that you look at a couch and go, oh wow, I'm noticing the couch. I noticed the couch in this movie. It did look like a couch that I would want to sit down on at the end of the long day, and so it worked for me.
What? You would check with the couch first, though, right?
I would check with the couch.
First.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. There are Easter eggs. Hallmark is definitely getting better about Easter eggs. I would say that this Easter egg in this movie is the best Easter egg of all time. Lacey Chabert and Brennan Elliott made a name for themselves and being a couple in movies. And then Lacey became someone that went and did these movies with Will Kemp for a long time. And in this movie where she's back with Brennan Elliott, they have her being briefly married to Will Kemp and then divorced or the marriage annulled. Fantastic. 10 of 10 from you, Hallmark. Better than any of the Tyler Hines or Andrew Walker showing up as a waiter in the other one's movie. This is it. This is how you do this. It's so perfect. It doesn't take away from the movie. If you didn't know that, you would not even recognize that name. Just a little thing. Exactly what we needed. Whoever wrote that into the script, chef's kiss. Perfect.
I love my feels is now Dan having feels about like Hallmark Easter eggs. I love that.
Hey man, I'm doing the best I can over
here. Look at us.
Okay?
We're about to head into our 7th season. And you're over here being like, I loved it when they called back to that thing that they did once. I loved it.
I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing great.
I love that.
I'm progressing as a human being.
You sure are.
I hope
Better than
I
a
am.
couch feels, I think.
Yeah, couch feels over there.
Y'all,
you and JD Vance could get a room.
look at
light on that thing.
Look at that couch. Look at that couch is all I'm saying. You didn't notice the couch?
I did notice the couch.
It was a good looking couch.
It was a good looking. That's all we're saying.
Could spray orchids from that couch.
We'll be right back here. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking His and Hers. The first fault. My phone is transcribing what I'm saying.
ChatGPT, I told you not to bother me at work.
Hey, Siri.
It says I did couch.
yeah, you did.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
We're talking about His and Hers, the first fall movie of the year. Couldn't be more fall. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yep.
It's time for Wait What. It's where we talk about what in this movie made us go Wait What. And I will start with you, Brian.
Yeah, the anniversary gifts just kept coming and
Those
coming.
gifts.
Like they do like an anniversary month. Like
They
how
said,
many gifts?
I will say this, Brian. I don't want to take this away from
Yeah.
you. They do say we're doing a 7-day celebration.
Oh, they did say that?
In the first scene, they slip it
for
in
every
there
year.
to make that make sense.
Ooh.
Even though I think it's been longer than 7 days for this
That-
trial, but they say we're celebrating
Okay.
1 day for every year,
That
and they.
makes sense, but
Yes.
also a slippery
Still-
slope.
Oh no,
Don't
that's
set that
listen,
precedent,
my wife and
folks.
I just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary
Oh, sure.
on Monday. 18 days.
days.
I can't. I own my own business. I don't have that kind of
That's
vacation
too
time. Like
much.
that's a lot.
Yeah, you draw a
Yeah, I don't
line.
have that much money either.
Maybe you
Yeah.
switch to hours at some point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. yeah.
But I don't. But it's not like he got her socks one day. Like it's not like
Nice
they're over here
socks,
like
though.
a
Right, crazy
like
gifts. Yeah,
elaborate.
you're right.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
Like hey, here's a.
But
yeah, go.
18 gifts?
No, it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Or as Brian would say, gifts?
Yeah. No, I think but that's part of the challenge is finding a gift.
Yes,
for all
that
those
is
days.
super
right.
challenging. Another one I had was Dana's assistant ended up in the restaurant, like sneaking around in that restaurant, like going up to the table in that restaurant where Luca supposedly has his finger on the pulse, full of connections all over the town, but can't keep control over his restaurant. Like you shouldn't have people sneaking around your restaurant. A little more, tighten up the security a little bit there. Letting the drama get to court, I feel like this is almost what the Hallmark for me. Like I feel like that's illegal at some point.
Yes.
There is a line where
Yes.
you're in front of a judge and you're just lying. Like you're making up everything you're doing, total false pretenses. I don't know. I don't know what the crime is there. Maybe that judge was like an actor. Maybe it was a whole setup. I hope it was for the sake of for the sake of them, but it just feels like too big of a problem to not address it. Like I wish it were explained more because I just feel like you shouldn't be able to do that. And this, how did they get onto that TV show in a day? Immediately turned around their appearance on that,
Yeah,
that TV
if you
show.
were trying, to your point, if you were trying to turn this into launching a TV show and you wanted it to seem real so that your show seems real, you wouldn't launch that the day
Yeah.
that you decided to not get divorced in court.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about?
That
show?
Yeah, their
Because
show,
that was
their
the
relationship
giveaway.
show.
That was the giveaway for them. Like clearly, this was the promo was recorded
But-
ahead of time.
Yeah, but they got onto the
But
show
they launched it the
live.
night that this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why in the world would these two people who have staged this elaborate scam, basically, launch that? If you launch that television program the night that you do that, any credibility you think you have is lost. If the whole purpose of this
Yeah.
is to establish
Like,
credibility
yeah.
that, like, hey, we almost got divorced, we should be couples therapists. Why launch the show the day that it happened? You
I don't
would
think
wait.
it was the day of.
Oh, you don't
It
think it was the
felt
day
like-
of?
Because
the
they watched
timing of it.
they watched the commercial, they had the realization the next day. They go in and talk to their bosses.
That's true. They
But
did.
like when they're
So-
sitting down, I'm pretty sure there's a reference or something to like, man, what a day. Like we just like,
Oh, maybe. I mean, it definitely wasn't.
Okay.
It definitely was because they were watching TV that night. They see the commercial. They have the realization it was all a lie.
I thought it was the same day.
the next day they go in and they talk to their bosses.
Yeah, but
And
I
then
thought
don't-
that evening was the evening after the courtroom.
That's what I thought for that. But
it
I
would have
thought-
been
I
the
mean,
following evening.
I
so it's
thought
even
that the
still a
evening that they're
day.
on the couch
Yes.
happened right after,
After
Correct.
court during that day.
Yes.
Yeah, so the commercial aired that night.
The commercial aired that night.
Yes. Why would they? If you're the two people trying
Yeah.
to create some sort of credibility as a
Right.
couples therapist, why would you release?
Oh, I don't think they're worried about whether or not they
Then
are-
why'd they do it? Why'd they do the whole scam? The whole
because they were floundering. They were
yes, so
barely
they
celebrities.
they wanted to get notoriety for almost getting divorced and
Yes.
staying together so they could launch their couples therapy show.
Yeah.
So why launch it the night that this happened?
Stuff moves quick.
Oh no, I say you at least give them a chance to be like, hey, they worked this out. They're back in the news. You pump that up for a week or two, and then you announce, oh, we're going to do this thing. But if you release that commercial that night, you're basically saying this was a scam. We never even.
It does seem fishy.
Yes.
It does seem fishy. Yeah. Was there anything else?
No, that's all.
One of the gifts, I think it's the first gift that we give. One of the first gifts is a copper pot to make popcorn in, and he says, "I've always wanted a copper pot to make you popcorn in." I mean, like, get it. Like, look at your house.
You guys are both lawyers.
Look at your couch.
You
can get a copper. Go out and buy it.
You live in Manhattan. You have a multi-store.
He says, I've always wanted a copper pot. What's stopping you, Brendan Elliott? What's stopping you from going out? They are expensive.
You get $33 for one that looks like what he got.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you could do that.
Just go get it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it.
Shout out to Whirly Pop too, best popcorn maker there is.
Whirly Pop. Speaking of gifts, she gives him a limited edition, top of the line fidget spinner.
His words, not yours.
No, that's what he says. Limited edition, top of the line.
Of the line.
And like, first of all, it doesn't seem like a good fidget spinner. Like, part of the fun of fidget spinners is spinning it and seeing how long it lasts, and then you can kind of keep doing it. This was like you do it once and it goes for like a second. It looks like it's made of copper too. Maybe he has a copper thing.
He has a copper thing,
but it doesn't spin for very long.
He's not allowed to buy copper stuff anymore.
It doesn't spin for very long. I don't think this would be a good fidget spinner. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know what the top of the line fidget spinners are like. Maybe that's part of their charm.
It's a
I
world
don't know.
you're not exposed to.
Last but not least, I didn't think I'd ever see the day where Lacey Chabert on the Hallmark Channel would use Vietnam as a punchline.
Oh my gosh.
But she did in this movie. There's a little bit of a Nam joke. And I didn't think we'd ever see that day. That sweet Lacey Chabert on Sweet Hallmark Channel would make Vietnam the punchline of a joke, but here we are.
Basically also calling this like dog that doesn't exist a Vietnam veteran, which is the wildest. I mean, look, war was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have,
It's not that I thought the joke was out of bounds.
Lacey Chabert
on the Hallmark Channel.
Queen of Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever see the day.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's got that new Netflix movie coming out. Maybe
doing her own thing.
Netflix has rubbed off on her. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my Lacey. Dana?
The tough part about setting a show or a movie like this in New York City is you really need the background actors to be able to talk. I don't know if you've ever been in New York City, but it's loud. And you also can't just walk a street like they walk a street. It's the quietest New York people of all time. At one point, Lacey is following Brennan, and she just like takes a book out of a guy's hand, and he doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
He's not like, hey, what are you doing? Give that back. Who are you? He stays completely quiet.
What is this, Vietnam?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He doesn't say anything. And it really does take you out of the movie when no one on the street is allowed to say anything, and they establish the heck out of the fact that it's Manhattan. That makes it tough. Yeah. Lacey's uncle, who's also the owner of the firm, shows up with 2 plants in his hand, and he says, which one of these should we go with, the orchids or the flowers? And I don't know. I don't know much about flowers. I can't say that I could pick an orchid out of a lineup, but I can say this is if you're going to say which one should we go with and you say the orchids, then you should probably know the type of flower the other one is, so you could just actually use both names. We could go with the orchids or we could go with the flowers. That's right. Whatever, tulips, calla lilies.
Calla lilies.
Yeah.
Pussy willows.
Yeah. Is that right, Brandon? Pussy willow? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Glad we did it. At one point, someone, I believe it's Tabby, says that I'm Tabby. That Brett went to Vegas and sports gambled. That is a sentence said by someone that is a robot. That is not. That was. I'm not saying AI wrote this movie. I'm sure someone actually worked really, really hard on this movie, but no one goes, well, he went to Vegas and sports gambled. Why would you say that like that? That isn't, he just gambled. He went to Vegas, probably covers it. What kind of gambling? Sports gambling.
The worst of the gambling.
Yeah, the worst kind. And then lastly, I just feel like the lack of tension between the two leads was so noticeable for two lawyers that are presumably at the top of their game, wanting to make sure their client wins. The fact that they're not more at odds with each other, even like while still going home to, the same house every night, the fact that that's not played for either laughs or tension, or that we get any resolution. I would have rather had the thing, like had us know about the scam at the beginning, or have it be real and thus have an actual winner and loser. I think instead we got neither of those fun options, and it just made this movie kind of just there. And that's unfortunate.
You said it, Dan. It's time for What the Hallmark, is where we wonder what could have been, maybe happen, give some clarity to any questions that we're still poking our little minds at, around the old noodle.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, mine was very vague, but Dan, you put it into words that like really nailed it down for me. My question was like, why is everybody lying to them about this? And it was that's what was missing. It was them not knowing about it and being
correct,
not in on it, but us being in on it.
That's right.
And so
sometimes there's fun in the audience being omniscient. There's fun in that.
That would create so much more awkward, like fun. Yeah, more awkwardness for between them that was safe, because we know it's all like a big thing that they just don't know yet. And so, yeah, like I feel like that is a key thing that was missing, and I couldn't figure it out the whole time I was watching, but it just felt like something was missing, and that would have been really, really nice.
Or, I mean, listen, we've seen a lot of mysteries on the Hallmark Channel, and they're never this good.
No.
They're never this good at keeping information to the vest. Maybe this would have been a great opportunity for Hallmark to do what they typically do and show all their hands. Yeah. But instead, this time, they're walking around like this.
Yep, hands are hidden. No
hand.
But Philo.tv/DTH. You don't know what I'm talking about if you're just listening.
That's right.
Brandy, no hands.
But I got no hands.
I'm just saying that if you're gonna keep it from us, give us some cookie crumbs along the way that make it possible to solve, or let us in on it.
Right.
I like to let us in on it better,
Same.
but that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Right. We talked a little bit about, Dan's feels was like the little
Easter egg.
The little Easter egg. There's also she was doing a crossword puzzle at one point.
Yeah,
like
all of my heart thing.
Will Kim's name is mentioned. Like, how much of that was script? How much of that was Brennan and Lacey trying to tip their own hats at the old audience and say,
Madame.
hello there. Whose idea was it to have Lacey doing a crossword puzzle? Like stuff like that. That's like a really, like, if you know type thing.
Yeah.
It was inside
baseball.
sports, inside baseball, inside dodgeball.
Inside dodgeball.
Whose idea was it to hand Lacey that dodgeball and say, "Hey, go for it, pal"? Was it Brendan and Lacey? Because I can see Brendan and Lacey kind of being like, "What if we do some little things like that?" And they're being their idea. But this movie also I felt like the script was pretty decent. So like, how much of it was just in the script because that's what Hallmark wanted? I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah,
you just complimented your question. Yeah,
good question. Good question.
Please clap.
Good question, Brett.
Please clap.
Please clap. Yeah, there we go.
It's a good question,
Brett.
Everybody.
It's a good question.
Sure is.
I have two. One of mine is I just want to know the ratings, the TV ratings for this movie, the viewer ratings, because Brendan and Lacey tend to have good ratings. I'm interested.
Hey,
versus,
good question.
Yeah, but my bigger one is what in the world is going on with nori chips? They decide that is their go-to in this movie for a joke. If you are high maintenance, then you are going to ask for nori chips. When it happens once, it's like, all right, that's funny. And then it is brought up, I think, 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. I don't get it. I don't understand why nori chips makes you.
Is that a real brand?
No, it's a type of seaweed chip.
Oh, it's seaweed.
Yes.
Gross.
Nori is it's an actual food. I don't know why. Like, people eat nori chips that aren't high. I don't get it. I don't, especially in New York City.
Well, as an uppity up, you wouldn't think that it's an uppity up.
Well, here's my thing is
uppity up. Dan is like, it's not uppity up.
If you want to establish that it's uppity up, that's fine. But the fact that is the signifier for uppity up is weird in this movie when Brennan and Lacey live in a 2-story Manhattan apartment,
can afford a copper pan,
and order bulgogi tacos.
Yeah.
A Mexican Asian fusion, and then they're going to talk nori chips like you can't go to the grocery store and just buy those whenever you want. Like, that's my thing is if they are like, living in the middle of Nebraska, okay, then nori, that's a fun bit. They're not. They are living in a place where that would be a very common thing to have, and they are acting like it's the new gluten-free. Like Hallmark's gluten-free in the 2010s is now like, hey, what if we say nori chips anytime there's somebody high maintenance in the room? I just didn't get it.
It's new gluten-free.
Yeah.
We did, everybody.
Yeah, we
Congratulations.
did.
One fall movie in the books.
Yeah,
You can
guess
write it down. Write it down and send it to your say hi to your mother for me. Yeah, you can send it to your senator if you want to. Hey, there was a one fall movie we saw it and we did it. We talked about
In the
it.
books.
It's time for Double Decker of the Week, is where we dive deep into the life of a double decker that signed up for the Double Decker tier or higher at BrambleJamPlus.com. That gets you ad-free
TM.
podcasting. It gets you wonderful Facebook community.
Maybe even yo gavel
Maybe
gavel.
even yo gavel gavel. Maybe even so much more. Maybe even if you're at the all access tier, you get Take It to the Tapes for free.
Lunch with the boys.
Who do we have?
We have Elizabeth Jenkins.
Woo!
Elizabeth Jenkins this week.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yeah, Elizabeth,
Leroy
yeah.
Jenkins.
Leroy No, Elizabeth. Elizabeth Jenkins. Yeah, Elizabeth Jenkins. Phenomenal double-decker. Doing, I feel like, a great service.
Yeah.
Elizabeth out there doing a great service. Messenger pigeons, not the only bird in town anymore delivering stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about this. I have
haven't.
drones. You heard about drones.
I've heard about it.
delivering
We heard about
whatnot.
the drones.
Elizabeth's like, like in a very environmentally safe way, like, why don't we use what we already have? Let's train up some birds to make some deliveries.
That's a
And
good
that's
idea
what
because people have
Elizabeth-
been trying to figure out
Yeah.
the drone thing
Yeah.
for a while
Yeah.
and haven't
Yeah.
been able to crack
Not
it yet.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
this is a
Elizabeth-
good idea. I'm
Yeah.
excited about
Yeah,
this.
she's been working
This
with
is a good
different
idea.
birds, like
Yeah.
to train them.
She's been working with different birds.
to head
Is
out
there
to
a certain
missions.
bird that works better than another bird?
Well,
in
you
her
don't
trials.
want like a chickadee picking up your
A
Applebee's.
chickadee
or
is
something
not
like
going to
that.
be able to carry it.
Like crow's a great delivery bird.
Crow would be fantastic.
Like,
Crow to go.
Crow
Let's
to
see.
go. Hey,
Crow
Elizabeth,
to go.
write that one down.
Wow.
Like you might
Is
send.
Eat Crow anything?
No, Brand, come on. We're not talking about that here.
Yeah.
No, it's just like Eat Crow. And
Yeah.
it's the crow that's bringing you your food. I don't. Again, I'm just throwing out idea for names.
I feel like the
thought
crows
that's what
would
we were doing.
have an issue with that.
Okay, I thought that's what we were doing.
You could send like a hawk to a store. You could send a hawk to pick up your laundry. You could send like a bunch of chickadees together.
right?
So what's the name of the
Could-
business again?
This is Wing Ding Dong.
Okay.
Wing Ding Dong.
This is going to get okay. Wing ding dong.
Wing
So it doesn't have-
Ding Dong.
Hold
Wing
on,
ding
Ro.
dong.
It doesn't have anything to do with hawks.
All types of birds are involved in this.
Okay.
The only thing that you can't, they won't pick up eggs is one thing. They will not go get your eggs at the grocery store because they just have like a thing with the chickens. They're in it together, just supporting their brothers.
And it's
And
called
sisters.
Wing ding
Ding
dong.
dong.
Wing Ding Dong.
Did they focus group it?
Elizabeth.
title?
Well, it's your Crow to Go is much better. I'll
Crow
give you
to Go
that.
is
So
much
I
better.
feel like a little bit
I
of
feel
work
like
could be
Eat
done.
Crow's
Elizabeth,
pretty good too.
I don't. Just the connotation. I mean, Elizabeth's got a little work to do. I mean, I got in on this information at the early stages, so like I was kind of poking around at the data.
Why did
before
you
it's
mention?
ready.
So, what are how many different birds are there?
Any type of
There's
bird.
We crow.
Crow.
There's hawk.
Yes,
You send the
hawk.
hawk. It's a
Yes.
lot of play. Falcons are out
Yeah.
there. doing it.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Even the smaller birds.
An eagle.
For a certain price point, you can get an eagle. You can get
Whoa,
an
hold
eagle.
on,
You
hold
can
on.
get
So
it.
you're
Time out,
paying
you pay for
depending
the
on the
bird?
bird.
Oh yeah.
So how much is it?
Oh,
How
yeah.
much does it cost to get a hawk to
Hawk
bring you
to
your
a
food?
store?
Yeah.
It's
How
like,
much does that cost?
It's like 200.
200?
Probably is what the numbers I'm seeing. Crows a little more affordable. Hawks
Crow to
are-
go is a little more
crows-
affordable than
Crows are a little more affordable. Hawks are busy. They're out there getting after
You can't
it.
do a bald eagle though, right? Those
There's
are
no
endangered.
way.
There's a price point for every bird.
There should
Wow.
be.
There
They're
shouldn't
even
be.
working on pterodactyls. I mean, we're talking
Pterodactyls
all
aren't they don't
dinosaur
exist
bird.
anymore.
It's a dinosaur
It's a
bird. We're
dinosaur
bringing
bird. They're bringing
it's
it back.
part of the
Wow.
program, yeah.
What's it called
Wow.
again?
Wing ding dong.
Ding dong.
Wing ding dong is what we're going for.
I was real
Ding
nervous,
dong.
and I'm still not totally on board, but I'm less nervous.
Yeah, Elizabeth's really.
Okay, we're still a little bit nervous. Still a little
I
bit.
feel pretty
nervous.
good about it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is as good as we could have
You've
done.
tried it,
Yeah, yeah.
and it
It's
works.
okay. The thing I left my window down and just right into the window, so I had to get like
I thought you said you left it down.
I left the window shut, and so right into the glass.
So your window wasn't open.
You got to keep your window open for the bird to fly in.
The bird's gonna fly into your house.
You
Yeah.
said I left
Yeah.
my window down, and I thought you were talking about your car.
Oh, no. In my house. I left,
left
the
it
storm
closed.
window
Closed.
shut, so they just
Wham!
right into the glass.
So did the bird die?
Well, Elizabeth shows up pretty quick to clean up that situation. So I don't know what happened. I assume there's like a
She
little
cleans
bird
it up?
CPR. It's a one-person operation.
I'm not doing anything here, Brandon. I'm just letting you know.
Hit the bird singer.
Tweet, tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Yep.
That was a commercial.
That was
I'm
a
being
good one.
told. I'm being told that was a commercial.
All the money went
yeah.
into the bird training.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
We did it, everybody. Congratulations. Why'd you say you're not going to do anything? What does that mean?
I just said I'm not. I maybe it was in the recording. I don't know who that was in the recording.
You on a
It
phone
was
call?
weird. There's somebody said I'm
Who
not
are you
going to do
talking
anything.
to?
Brand.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
And I
weird.
wasn't doing
Brent, watch
anything.
your
You
back.
weren't doing anything.
I wasn't doing anything.
I don't know what happened.
That was
there.
the commercial.
That's weird.
They gotta
They
cut
would
that
air
out,
that
man.
commercial.
All
Maybe they
right.
need new
well,
microphones.
maybe I'm
Send a
nervous
hawk
now.
to a store.
To the store to pick up a microphone.
I'm
not doing
you
that.
stop. I'm not doing anything.
Guys, I need you to quiet down. We're recording the new commercial.
He heard that? Yeah. Oh, no.
We'll be back tomorrow with
Yes.
one of
The
the
schedule
new.
announcement?
I think
Oh.
it's Jane Mystery on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Dune Bay on Thursday.
Dune Bay. We're heading to the Dune Bay on Thursday, and then a double dose of
been a
Chicken
hot tour, Dune
Sister. A double dose of Chicken Sister on Friday. We'll be back then. Until then, maybe first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
The Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.